Healing shadows. Maya's hands trembled as she stared at Eric's phone. The messages were explicit, undeniable. 2 years together, and this was how it ended, with the cold blue light of his screen illuminating 3 months of lies. "Maya?" Eric called from the shower, oblivious. She placed the phone exactly where she'd found it, her body suddenly hollow. When he emerged, towel around his waist, she simply looked at him, really looked, wondering how she'd missed the stranger beneath his familiar skin. "I know," she whispered. His face fell, not with shame, but with relief. The unburdening of a secret too heavy to carry. That hurt most of all. "I didn't mean for this to happen," he said, the words rehearsed, hollow. Maya laughed, a brittle sound that surprised even her. "People always mean exactly what they do, Eric. You just didn't mean for me to find out." By week 3, Maya couldn't keep food down. Her body had turned against her, rejecting nourishment just as she rejected memories of Eric. Her apartment, once their apartment, felt cavernous, each room echoing with his absence. "You need a doctor," her sister insisted over the phone. But Maya knew no prescription could cure what ailed her. The betrayal had burrowed deep, metastasizing into something physical. She lost 12 pounds, then 15. Sleep came in fragments, broken by dreams of Eric with her. The nameless, faceless her who had been worth destroying everything they'd built. Her boss granted her medical leave after she collapsed in the break room. The hospital ran tests, finding nothing conclusive. Stress, they said. Depression. Words that failed to capture how it felt to have your life ripped open, your future erased in a single moment. Sometimes, the doctor said gently, the mind and body speak the same language. The farmer's market had been her sister's idea. "Just 10 minutes of sunshine," she'd begged. Maya agreed only to silence the daily calls. She wandered between stalls, fragile as spun glass, until a voice cut through the market's white noise. "Maya?" She turned to find Liam Reeves, a face from college, from before Eric, from a lifetime ago. His eyes, the same deep brown she remembered, widened at her appearance. "Are you okay?" he asked, the question hanging between them like a lifeline. She opened her mouth to say yes, to lie as she'd been lied to, but found herself shaking her head instead. "Not really," she admitted, the truth a relief after weeks of pretending. Liam nodded, no pity in his gaze, just understanding. "Can I walk with you for a while?" Liam brought soup the first night, simple chicken broth that stayed down when nothing else would. "You don't have to do this," Maya said, wrapped in a blanket on her couch. "I know," he replied, his smile small but steady. "I want to." He returned the next day, and the next. Never pushing, never prying, just present. He coaxed her outdoors for brief walks, brought books when television became too loud, too jarring. When she finally told him about Eric, he didn't offer hollow platitudes or easy answers. He simply listened. "Some people," he said finally, "mistake possession for love. What he did says everything about him, and nothing about you." That night, Maya slept for 6 uninterrupted hours, the first real rest in weeks. "You had a life before him," Liam reminded her, gentle but firm. "And you'll have one after." He became her anchor in a world that had lost its mooring, not demanding her recovery, but witnessing it, not rushing her healing, but making space for it to happen naturally, at its own tender pace. Spring arrived, painting the city in new beginnings. Maya noticed she could climb the stairs to her apartment without pausing for breath. Food had taste again. Laughter, once foreign, occasionally escaped her lips when Liam recounted stories from his work as an architectural consultant. "You're looking better," he remarked one evening as they shared takeout on her balcony. You mean I look less like I'm dying? She quipped. His eyes held hers with unexpected intensity. I mean, you're becoming yourself again. Maybe even more yourself than before. Maya looked away, unsettled by the warmth his words kindled. She wasn't ready, couldn't possibly be ready. Yet something undeniable was growing between them, fragile as the first green shoots after winter. I'm afraid, she admitted one night, moonlight painting shadows across her living room. Of what? Liam asked. Of trusting again? Of being wrong again? He took her hand, his touch gentle. Fear makes sense, but don't let Eric take more from you than he already has. The panic attack hit without warning. They had been walking through the park when Maya spotted a man who, from behind, looked exactly like Eric. Her lungs seized, vision narrowing to pinpricks. Liam guided her to a bench, his voice calm. Focus on my hand, just breathe with me. When the storm passed, embarrassment flooded her. I'm sorry. I thought I was getting better. Healing isn't linear, Liam said quietly, and you don't need to apologize for having feelings. Looking at him, truly looking, Maya realized something profound. Where Eric had demanded perfection, Liam offered acceptance. Where Eric had taken, Liam gave. The revelation wasn't that she was falling in love again. It was that what she'd had with Eric hadn't been love at all. That night, she dreamed of standing at the edge of a cliff, terrified but exhilarated. When she woke, she understood. The fear of falling wasn't nearly as powerful as the desire to fly. I think I'm ready, she told Liam over coffee the next morning. For what? He asked. To stop being afraid. Maya hadn't planned to see Eric, but when she spotted him at their once favorite cafe, she didn't flee. Something had shifted inside her, steel replacing the fragility. Maya, he said, surprise and something like hope in his voice. You look good. I am good, she replied, surprised to find it true. He shifted uncomfortably. I've been thinking about us. There is no us, Eric. The words came easily, without rage or pain. I didn't come to make you feel better about what you did. I just want you to know that it no longer defines me. His face crumpled slightly. So, that's it? Maya smiled, gentle but final. That's it. I hope you find whatever you're looking for. Walking away, her steps were light, unburdened. For the first time since the betrayal, she felt not just alive, but powerful. The pain had been transformed into something else, something like wisdom, something like grace. That evening, she called Liam. I saw Eric today, she said without preamble. How was it? Concern colored his voice. It was nothing. Maya realized with surprise. He felt like a stranger. The silence between them hummed with possibility. Summer painted the city gold. Maya stood in her kitchen, chopping vegetables for dinner, when Liam arrived with wine and wild flowers. These reminded me of you, he said, offering the chaotic bouquet. Beautiful without trying to be. Maya took them, fingers brushing his. 6 months ago, she'd been a ghost haunting her own life. Now she felt solid, present, alive. The pain hadn't vanished. It had transformed into something else, something like wisdom. I never thanked you, she said, for seeing me at my worst and staying anyway. Liam shook his head. I never saw worst. I just saw you, fighting your way back. When he kissed her, it wasn't the desperate passion she'd known with Eric, but something steadier, deeper, a foundation instead of a fever. His hand cupped her face with a reverence that made her chest ache. I love you, he whispered against her temple, not because you needed saving, but because you saved yourself. Maya closed her eyes, letting the truth of it wash over her. She had shattered completely, then rebuilt herself piece by piece, stronger at the broken places. And in that rebuilding, she discovered what love actually meant, not possession or passion or perfect happiness, but presence. The courage to witness another's pain without flinching, the patience to watch them heal at their own pace. That night, as they lay tangled in her sheets, Maya traced the constellation of freckles across Liam's shoulder and felt, for the first time in almost a year, completely whole. "I love you too," she said, the words no longer frightening but freeing. "Thank you for showing me that some things, when broken, can be made beautiful again." Outside, the city hummed with summer life, and inside, in the quiet space between heartbeats, Maya knew that she had finally come home to herself.
If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications.